They evolved into something more than just musicians as the Beatles rose to prominence. In 1964, they made a spectacular entry in the United States, which was facilitated by their memorable performance on the Ed Sullivan program, which was watched by about 73 million Americans in February of that year. This performance played a significant role in their arrival in the United States. In countries all over the world, their music was at the top of the charts, and they became icons on a global scale. When I Want to Hold Your Hand was released in the United States, that was confirmed. When it was released on Boxing Day in 1963, it defeated Bobby Vinton's There, I've Said It Again, and remained at the top of the Billboard chart in the United States for a period of 7 weeks. The Beatles had 5 additional number ones in the 6 months that followed their arrival in the United States. Later that year, they went back to the United States for a tour that consisted of 32 performances. At that time, Beatlemania had completely engulfed the United States of America. Due to the band's success on a global scale, Beatlemania was able to be capitalized on to a perfect degree. In the month that followed their arrival in the United States, the band began production on their very first feature film, which was titled A Hard Day's Night. Richard Lester was the director of the film, which tracked 2 funny days in the lives of Paul McCartney, George Harrison, Ringo Starr, and John Lennon as they prepared for a television performance. The artists played fictional versions of themselves in the film. In addition, they recorded the soundtrack, which is not only their 3rd studio album but also has the same name as the movie. The Beatles' first album to be composed entirely of their own songs was titled The Beatles The Album. Although this was the case, there was a possibility that the band would not use their actual voices for the film. It was suggested that their lines in the movie be dubbed with mid-Atlantic accents because someone was concerned that the Scouse dialect would not translate well to the United States of America, despite the fact that the band had already won over millions of Americans earlier that year. The idea infuriated Paul, and he responded by saying, "Look, if we can understand a cowboy talking Texan, then they certainly can understand us talking Liverpool." A large number of people, including critics, enjoyed watching the movie. A prominent American film critic named Roger Ebert referred to it as one of the great life-affirming landmarks of the movies when it was released on July 10, 1964, alongside the album. It made more than $20,000 in its first week of publication, which was a record for the London Pavilion, where it was produced. It was released in a large number of theaters across North America, with more than 500 theaters in the United States and Canada, and by 1971, it had grossed $11 million at box offices around the world, which was a significant amount for the occasion.